Hello everyone and welcome to this video podcast. In this video I want to talk with you a little bit about the program Microsoft Teams that we're going to be using this semester. We're going to use this team so we can communicate in a virtual way. As you will see, it has similarities with WebEx and also with Zoom. However, it offers some unique features that I think will benefit us as we go throughout the semester. So let's go ahead and take a peek at Teams. Now what you see here, this is the view that I see as the instructor. And so you won't see everything here. What you'll see is the whole class meeting and the individual team that you are in. You won't see all of these, just one of the teams. And what we want to do at the beginning of each class, I want you to join this group here, the whole class. And in this view here, I will share with you my screen and we will go over a few announcements. And then you'll take the individual quiz that you'll take at the beginning of every class. And I'll explain more on how we're going to do that the first day of class. And then when you're done with the quiz, what I'll do is I'll have you go to your individual teams, and in your teams you will take the team test and then you'll work on various application questions. And what we'll do is we'll move back and forth between the individual team and the whole class so that we can talk about the different applications that you were working on. All right, so now how do you get into Teams? So when I set up this group here, I added your name and your email, and then you should have received an email. And so let's go ahead and look at what that email should have looked like. Now you should have received an email similar to what you see here. This isn't a particular student in the class. This is one I just artificially made so we could look at it during this video podcast. So when you get this email, you'll see that it's for our Biology 211 class, and then go ahead and select Open Microsoft Teams. Now if you already have the Teams app on your computer, you can just hit Allow. But I'm going to cancel this now because you might not have that app. If you don't have the app, I would go ahead and get the Teams app. I've been told that Teams runs better from the app than from the web app. This particular student, you can see, has been assigned to Team 7, so they can go here for the whole class meeting, and this is what they'll do when they first come to class. And then when they go to their teams, they'll just click on Team 7 because they're in Team 7. So remember that you're going to go to the whole class meeting at the beginning of every class day. And so when we're here, what you'll see is once I've opened it, you'll see an option to join the meeting. All right, so when you come to class, you'll hit. Now what you'll see after you've clicked that Join Meeting button is that you'll see an opportunity to turn off your video or to mute yourself. You also have an opportunity to make a different background, so you can have fun with that if you'd like. So I recommend that you keep both the volume on and the video on. I know it's an online class and sometimes maybe it would be nice to keep the video off, but I really think it helps build a sense that we're actually in a classroom if you keep this on. So I'd recommend that you keep that on. I can't force it and I'm not going to force you to, but I think there are some benefits to that. But I'm going to go ahead and actually click these off for now, because with me recording this on another system with the sound and with all that, I worry that there's going to be some feedback issues. So I'm just going to turn everything off for now. And then I'm going to hit Join Now. Now what you'll see here is the first slide of my PowerPoint for that day. This is actually for a Biology 572 class, and there's a good chance if you're watching this right now, you're in my Biology 211 class. But who knows which class you're in when you're watching this, because I'll probably reuse parts of this video in the future. But as the instructor, I'll move it from one slide to the next. Like I said, we'll begin the class with a quiz, and then I'll send you off to your individual room. So anytime we're in this group together, this main group together, if you have a question, initially what I'd like you to do is click on this raise hand button. And then on my view, you can't see my view, but on my view I can see that this student here has a question, and so I can pause and address their question. So make sure we try to take advantage and use that feature here. Okay, we're going to remove your raised hand here. Okay, so let's assume that we have taken our individual quiz and I'm ready to send you off to your teams to take the team quiz and work on your application questions. All right, so to leave the main group and move to your teams, go ahead and go over here and click Teams. And that takes you out of this main group here. It'll still be active and it'll remain active for the rest of the class period, because at various times we're going to come back to the main group here. But what I'm going to want you to do is now go to your individual teams to take the team test and application questions. There should be about 4, maybe 5 of you per team, and you're all going to move in here, and one of you, I don't think it matters who starts it, but one of you needs to hit this icon down here that looks like a video camera, and this is to start your individual team meeting. So after you clicked on that little start meeting icon, you'll come to a page like this, and you hit meet now. And after you hit meet now, it'll start your individual meetings. Now, once one team member has started it, the other team members that are in your team can now join that meeting. It might be a good idea to decide who's going to start the meeting, and then you'll know who's starting it, and then you can join. It says invite people to join. You don't need to do that because they're already in your team, and so they're going to be able to just join automatically. Now, once everyone is in the team room here, one of the members will want to share. And when you hit this little icon here for sharing, you could choose to show your whole desktop and then zero in on the thing you want to share with everyone. Or it's possible that you will want to share a specific window. So I maybe only want to share this window here, which is the Into Dashboard window. And that will only then show the Into Dashboard website that you have pulled up. And I don't have anything in here yet, but once you do have stuff in here, you will be able to navigate to the questions. And this way, the entire team can see what the questions are as you're moving through the different activities. Again, once we get started on this in class, I think it'll slowly, maybe quickly come together, and it'll make a little bit more sense. I would imagine the first day, maybe the first 2 days, there will be a bit of a learning curve where we're still trying to figure out how to kind of navigate all these things at the same time. But we'll get through it. Now, let's say we want to stop sharing that. So I'm going to hit stop sharing, and it stops sharing that Into Dashboard website. Now you may decide you want to share something else. For instance, there are these different whiteboard features here. Let's just click on the Microsoft whiteboard. And this is going to prove to be useful, I think, because there will be opportunities during this class where you're working on various applications where you are going to be asked to draw something as one of your activities. So maybe you have to draw a piece of DNA. And so you'll do something like this, right? Maybe yours will look better. Hopefully yours will. And then maybe I'm going to ask you to draw in some base pairs. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's still early, but who knows, right? I'm going to want you to label probably like the 5' and the 3' ends. I better do this right here. Something like this. Now, once your team is happy with the drawing, you can go over here and you can hit export image. And that's going to be important to do because when you export that image, you'll be able to upload it into the Into Dashboard where all your applications will be saved. Okay, a quick editing note. As I was reviewing this video, I realized there was an important point that I left out that I think is important for you to know. When everyone is working in their teams, I will be moving around to the different teams to check in with you to see how things are going, to see if you have a question. However, you may be working on a problem and you want my attention more immediately. So to get my attention, what you'll want to do is type into this chat function down here where my cursor is moving around, @Gorsuch, Stephen Ward, and then type your message. We need help with application A. Or you might have a more specific question that you would want to post here. And then just enter. And then on my view, I should get a message saying that team whatever, in this case team 7, has a question. And I can do one of a few things. It might be something I can quickly respond to in just a message to you, or I can choose to jump into your team and help you from that point. So I think this will be something that we'll want to use a lot, because remember, in an actual face-to-face classroom, what you would do is somebody in your team would raise their hand, and I would see that, and I would be able to come over. In this virtual system, it's less clear how I am to know which team needs my help. So this will turn out to be useful for us. Okay, so let's pretend that you're done with this application, and I'm calling you back to the main room so we can talk about it. What you'll do is you'll go back to Teams just like that, and you'll go over here and you'll click on Whole Class Meeting, and then you'll click Join here to rejoin the main group. There's this little thing down here that says Rejoin. I'm pretty sure we have to click on that, so we're going to hit Rejoin, and then we'll complete this application with me going over the main points over with it, or see if anyone has any questions, and then I'll send you back to your teams and you'll take on the next application questions. And so we'll go back and forth like this a few times throughout the class. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end the class, so to speak. So on my end, I'm going to end it. And now you'll see nothing's here. As sad as it may be, it's true. Well, that sums up how we're going to use Teams during our class times. Remember, coming to the whole class to meet for general discussions and going into your individual teams to work on problems and team quizzes together. However, one of the advantages that Teams has over things like WebEx or Zoom is that your team can come back to this Team 7 anytime you want. It's not just there during class time. If you want to get together to work on lab activities together, or if you want to get together and study for a test, or maybe you're having some problems with a particular activity and you want to get together and meet with your team. You could also choose to come here to Team 7, and if there's somebody else in the class you want to invite in, you could always invite other people in there as well. That's up to you. So when you do meet as a team outside of class, you pretty much do the exact same thing as you would have done during class. Once everybody's here, you can hit this Open Meeting Now icon here. I'm not going to click on it because every time I click on it, it seems to crash my video capturing software I'm using to make the video. So I'm not going to click on it because it doesn't behave nicely. But that's what you would do. You click on it, and then you would still have the same options of sharing your screen, sharing a whiteboard, or anything else you might want to share. So that's just another way to do that. Okay, and another really useful thing about Teams is that when you're meeting, you can share files with each other. If I click on Files, you'll see a lot of opportunities to share various documents. And a couple things you could do is you can either just drag something from your desktop over here and it'll upload it to this file, or you may upload it in the same manner, or you may want to create a new document that your team's working on. So let's just make a PowerPoint presentation. And we'll just make this poster. Because in this class, you're going to end up making a poster in lab over the yeast genetic screen you're going to do, or rather the virtual yeast genetic screen you're going to do. So we're going to put yeast screen as the title, but you could see how your team could work together on this simultaneously through Teams. Everything you do here, it's going to save. It's just like when you work together on things like Google Docs. I'm sure Microsoft does not appreciate me using the term Google Docs in their product. Don't tell Bill Gates. Let's back out here. I just hit Teams again so you can see your Team 7, and you can see that our poster file here has been saved. Anything you construct, a Word document, a poster, an Excel document, you could take a picture of your notes or take a picture of a drawing you've made and upload and put it here. Anything you save while you're doing the whiteboard, it'll be saved here as well. I've talked about the Teams and the whole class meeting channels, but there's also this other general channel. And what I can use with that is I can type in a message here that the whole class can see when they come to the Teams page here and look at the general. So as an example, I could come down here to this chat bar here and just type in a message. And I'm going to type in, please respond to this message so that I know you have successfully logged into Teams. So you can see here that I have put this message here. So you should all be able to see this when you log into Teams. And if you don't mind, when you see this message, go ahead and respond to it. And that way I know that you have been able to successfully log into Teams, and at the very least you can navigate to this page and respond. This will help me make sure that everyone is on board. And if you do this before Monday, I'll give you a bonus point on exam 1. You could do this to send me a message directly, just by going at and then putting my name, Gorsuch Stephen Ward, and that would come just directly to me and not everybody would see it. Or you could use it to message 1 or 2 or a few people in class if that's what you wanted to do. So I think this is a feature that as we get more used to Teams, I think we'll use it a little bit more, and I'll try to use it a little bit more too. So I'd recommend that every day, at least on days that we have class, since you're coming in here anyhow to go to the whole class meeting or to your individual teams, check out the general announcements here as well. Well, I think this is a good place to stop for now. We talked about how we're going to use Teams during class time, and then I also talked with you a little bit about how you could use Teams outside of class. So that's all I have for now. If you have any questions, please make sure you reach out to me, and I'll be happy to address any questions or concerns you might have. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.